Every meal out could be quietly raising your blood pressure. Sounds extreme. It's not. Whether you're grabbing takeout after a long day or enjoying a sit-down dinner with friends, what's on your plate may be silently forcing your heart to work harder, and you might not even feel it. According to Dr. Alan Goldhamer, one of the leading voices in natural blood pressure care, our culture of eating out is one of the most overlooked causes of rising hypertension today. And the effects can be devastating: strokes, heart attacks, kidney damage, all without warning. Even healthy restaurant meals are often packed with hidden salt, oil, and sugar ingredients that hijack your taste buds while quietly damaging your arteries. And for millions of adults, this slow damage adds up with every bite. But here's the good news. Your kitchen holds the power to reverse it. In this video, you'll learn why eating out even just twice a week can sabotage your heart, how the pleasure trap keeps you craving foods that harm you, and what you can do today to take back control of your blood pressure naturally and powerfully. If you eat out, this may be the most important health message you hear this year. Let's begin. Have you ever noticed that after eating out, whether at a fast food chain or a fancy bistro, you feel bloated, extra thirsty, or just a bit off? That's not your imagination. According to Dr. Alan Goldhamer, founder of the TrueNorth Health Center, the meals we eat outside our homes may be silently wreaking havoc on one of the most vital systems in our bodies, our blood pressure. Why? High blood pressure, often called the silent killer, affects nearly half of all adults in the United States. And yet, most people don't feel it, don't notice it, and don't take it seriously until it leads to something far more dangerous: heart attacks, strokes, kidney failure. But here's the part that most doctors and health guides don't emphasize enough. Our culture of eating out might be one of the biggest hidden contributors. When you eat at a restaurant, you're not just enjoying food, you're consuming an invisible overload of salt, oil, and sugar. These ingredients, which Dr. Goldhamer calls the pleasure trap, are designed to excite your taste buds and keep you coming back for more. But they also cause your body to retain fluid, constrict blood vessels, and force your heart to work harder, raising your blood pressure meal by meal, day by day. And the scary part: even meals that sound healthy, like a grilled chicken salad or a veggie stir-fry, can be packed with sodium and hidden fats. In fact, one single restaurant dish can easily contain more sodium than you should have in an entire day. Multiply that by several meals a week, and it's easy to see how even the most health-conscious person can unknowingly damage their cardiovascular system. This problem is especially serious for older adults. Many seniors eat out more often due to convenience, mobility issues, or simply not wanting to cook alone. And yet, this habit may be quietly pushing their blood pressure higher, increasing their risk for dangerous complications, often while they're already on multiple medications. Dr. Goldhamer believes the solution isn't found in more pills. It's found in your kitchen. He's helped thousands of patients lower their blood pressure naturally, often getting off medications entirely, through supervised water fasting and a low-sodium, whole food, plant-based diet. And in the rest of this video, we'll unpack how his method works and what you can start doing today to take control of your blood pressure before it's too late. Coming up next: why eating out even just twice a week could be one of the most damaging habits for your heart, and how the food industry keeps it that way. It's easy to think of eating out as a harmless treat, a quick dinner with friends, a takeout meal after a long day, or even a healthy option from your favorite chain. But what if these meals, no matter how innocent they appear, are quietly sabotaging your heart? Dr. Alan Goldhamer warns that eating outside the home is one of the most underestimated threats to your blood pressure. And it's not just about the occasional burger or fries. Even meals marketed as wholesome often contain ingredients that silently strain your cardiovascular system. Let's break it down. The average restaurant meal contains nearly 2 to 3 times the amount of sodium recommended for an entire day. Why? Because salt is the cheapest and most effective way to make food taste good and addictive. Combine that with hidden fats, added sugars, and calorie-dense oils, and you have a recipe for chronic inflammation, water retention, and hypertension. One study published in the journal Circulation found that frequent dining out significantly increases the risk of developing high blood pressure, especially in middle-aged and older adults. Why? Because sodium causes your body to hold on to water, increasing blood volume and putting pressure on your arteries. Over time, this leads to a stiffer heart, damaged arteries, and a greater risk of heart attack or stroke. And here's what most people miss. The damage doesn't just come from fast food. Sit-down restaurants, sushi bars, vegan cafes, even that clean-eating meal delivery service, most still rely heavily on salt, oil, and processed seasonings. You may feel like you're making a smart choice, but if you're not preparing your meals yourself, you rarely know what's really in them. Dr. Goldhamer's research at TrueNorth Health Center shows a clear link between dietary choices and blood pressure. Patients who eliminated salt, oil, and sugar from their diets experienced a sharp reduction in hypertension, sometimes within days. And when combined with supervised water fasting, the results were even more profound. The truth is, we've normalized a food culture that rewards convenience over health. But every meal outside your home is a gamble. You're trading flavor for your heart's long-term well-being, and most of us don't even realize we're making that trade. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into why we keep falling into this trap. Even when we know better, it's not just habit, it's brain chemistry. And it's one of the most powerful forces driving our modern health crisis. If you've ever tried to eat healthier and found yourself slipping back into old habits, ordering takeout, grabbing a pastry, indulging in salty snacks, you're not alone. And it's not just a matter of willpower. Dr. Alan Goldhamer calls it the pleasure trap, a powerful biological force that keeps us hooked on unhealthy food, even when we know it's harming us. Here's how it works. Our brains are hardwired to seek out calorie-rich foods. It's a survival mechanism that dates back to when food was scarce, and finding sugar, fat, or salt could mean the difference between life and death. In modern times, we're surrounded by abundance, but our biology hasn't changed. Food manufacturers and restaurant chefs know this. They carefully engineer meals to overstimulate your brain's reward centers using the perfect combination of salt, oil, and sugar. These ingredients don't just make food taste better. They light up the same pleasure pathways in the brain as addictive substances like nicotine or alcohol. The result? You crave more, you eat more, and you lose control. Dr. Goldhamer explains that this overstimulation leads to dopamine resistance. Over time, your brain needs more and more stimulation to feel satisfied. A plain bowl of steamed vegetables won't even register, while a greasy, salty meal lights up your brain like a fireworks show. That's the trap. This is why eating out feels so comforting, and why it's so hard to stop. Your brain has been trained to expect a hit of pleasure from that meal, and your body complies, even at the cost of your health. It's not weakness, it's biology. but knowing that gives you power. Breaking free of the pleasure trap requires more than just intention. It requires a reset. At TrueNorth, Dr. Goldhamer uses medically supervised water fasting to help patients reset their taste buds and dopamine responses. After just a few days without salt, sugar, or oil, food begins to taste different. Natural foods become pleasurable again. And for the first time in years, patients regain control over their choices. But even without fasting, simply eliminating processed foods and cooking at home can begin this healing process. The goal is not deprivation, it's freedom. Freedom from cravings, from medications, from the daily fear of heart problems or strokes. In the next section, we'll explore this idea of fasting not as a fad, but as a powerful medical tool. You'll see what happens to your blood pressure when you stop eating entirely for a few days, and why it might be the breakthrough you've never considered. Imagine being able to lower your blood pressure sometimes dramatically without medication. No side effects, no ongoing prescriptions, just your body healing itself. That's the promise behind medically supervised water fasting, a core part of Dr. Alan Goldhamer's treatment approach at the TrueNorth Health Center. Water fasting isn't about starvation. It's about giving your body a break, a chance to reset, repair, and restore. Under proper medical supervision, patients at TrueNorth consume only water for a period of several days to a few weeks, depending on their condition. And the results? They're astonishing. In one study involving over 170 patients with high blood pressure, nearly 90% were able to reduce their blood pressure to normal levels through water fasting alone. Even more incredible, many of these patients were able to discontinue their medications altogether. Some went from dangerously high readings like 180, 110, down to safe, normal levels without a single pill. But how does it work? When you stop eating, your body enters a state of deep physiological rest. It no longer has to spend energy digesting, processing, or managing blood sugar spikes. Instead, it starts breaking down old, damaged tissues and recalibrating hormonal systems, including those that regulate blood pressure. Salt is a major driver of high blood pressure, and the average person carries excess sodium in their body tissues. During fasting, as sodium is excreted, fluid retention decreases, and blood pressure naturally falls. The arteries become more flexible. The heart doesn't have to work as hard, and inflammation subsides. But just as important as the fast itself is what happens after. Dr. Goldhamer doesn't send patients back to their old eating habits. Instead, they transition to a whole food, plant-based diet with no added salt, oil, or sugar. A way of eating that supports long-term health and helps maintain the results of the fast. Critics argue that fasting is extreme. But what's more extreme, spending a few days resting under medical care, or spending years on drugs that only mask symptoms while the root cause gets worse? Of course, water fasting isn't for everyone. It must be done under medical supervision, especially for people on medication. But even for those who don't fast, adopting the principles behind it, cutting out the processed foods, restoring your taste for natural nutrition can lead to powerful changes in blood pressure, energy, and overall health. In the next section, we'll shift from the clinic to your kitchen and explore what you can eat to lower your blood pressure naturally. You don't need to fast to begin healing. You just need to know what to put on your plate. You don't have to fast for days to start lowering your blood pressure. In fact, one of the most powerful ways to heal begins not in a clinic, but in your own kitchen. Dr. Alan Goldhamer has shown that the right diet, consistently applied, can support long-term blood pressure control without medication. And the best part, it's simple, natural, and surprisingly satisfying. At the heart of this healing diet is a concept called SOS-free, eating no added salt, oil, or sugar. It might sound restrictive at first, but the goal isn't to make food bland. It's to restore your taste buds and let real food shine. When you strip away the artificial flavors, your body reconnects with the natural sweetness of fruit, the richness of whole grains, and the depth of flavor in fresh vegetables. So what does this look like in practice? Start with greens, lots of them. Leafy vegetables like kale, collards, and spinach are rich in potassium, magnesium, and antioxidants that naturally lower blood pressure. Add in a variety of whole grains like quinoa, brown rice, and oats, which provide energy and fiber without the blood sugar spikes. Round that out with beans, lentils, and legumes, a powerhouse of plant-based protein, and you've got the foundation for a blood pressure-friendly meal. Fruits, especially berries, bananas, and citrus, are rich in compounds that help relax blood vessels and reduce inflammation. Don't forget nuts and seeds, like flax seeds and walnuts. In moderation, they offer healthy fats that support heart health when used properly. And water, drink plenty of it. Staying well hydrated helps regulate blood pressure and supports your kidneys in excreting excess sodium. The key here isn't just what you eat, but what you avoid. Processed foods, restaurant meals, salty snacks, and anything with added sugars or oils can undo your progress in a single bite. That's why cooking at home, even simple meals, makes such a big difference. It puts you back in control. Meal prepping can also help. Try batch cooking soups, stews, or grain bowls, so you're never tempted to reach for something quick and harmful. Keep fruit on hand for snacks, and learn to read labels if it has added sodium, oil, or sugar. It's not part of your healing plan. Dr. Goldhamer's patients often report that within just a few weeks of eating this way, their blood pressure drops, their energy returns, and their cravings disappear. And over time, the changes become easier, not harder. In the final section, we'll bring all of this together and look at how you can take the first step today without overwhelm, without guilt, and with a clear vision for better health. So here we are. You've seen how eating out something so normal, so convenient, can quietly push your blood pressure higher day after day. You've learned about the pleasure trap and how your brain is wired to crave the very foods that harm you. You've discovered how water fasting can reset your system, and how a simple, whole food, plant-based diet can bring your blood pressure down naturally. But now comes the most important part. What will you do with this knowledge? Dr. Alan Goldhamer's message isn't just about food, it's about empowerment. You're not broken. You don't have a medication deficiency. Your body is designed to heal if you give it the chance. And that healing starts not with a prescription, but with a cutting board. It starts with skipping that salty takeout and cooking a fresh, simple meal at home. It starts with choosing beans over bacon, water over soda, real food over chemical-laced convenience. These changes might feel small, but their impact is profound. Every healthy meal is a signal to your body. You matter. I'm taking care of you. Don't be overwhelmed. You don't have to be perfect. Just begin. Maybe this week you commit to cooking 3 meals at home. Maybe you remove added salt from your diet for a few days and see how your taste buds start to change. Or maybe you look into plant-based recipes and try something new. And if you're struggling with high blood pressure or you're already on medication, talk to a health provider who understands lifestyle medicine. Ask questions. Take ownership. You deserve more than symptom management. You deserve to feel strong, clear, and in control again. You have the power to reclaim your health, meal by meal, day by day. It won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. If this video resonated with you, share it with someone you love. Let's start a conversation about true healing, not the kind that comes in a bottle, but the kind that starts with what's on your plate. And don't forget to subscribe. We're just getting started on this journey toward better health. Together.